second thing is, if you want to do the lucky 7 steps to negotiating, is you have to use the power of cash. Cash is powerful. Now, we talked about this in the debt lesson. We said in the debt lesson that if you spend cash, it hurts. It registers pain with you. And it causes you to not want to spend it. You carry Uncle Ben around a little while. It's like, Uncle Ben, he's part of the family, right? I don't want to lose you. Stay with me. You know, and it hurts, so it makes you stop and think, doesn't it? And that's one of the ways it saves you money. But it is a good negotiating tool, because when you hold up cash, cash is emotional, isn't it? You just kind of walk around the store. When I'm thinking I want a deal. And the other thing when you're using cash is it's very visual. Now, my wife, Sharon, she doesn't like all this stuff. It's too confrontational to her. She's like, you embarrass me. That's just one of the side benefits of doing all this stuff. Cash has immediacy. If I walk up to you and I'm getting ready to buy something and I put down 10 $100 bills and I say, I'm going to make you a $1,000 offer, you're not going to worry about whether my credit card's going to clear. You know I don't have to talk to my bank or pull my credit bureau report. It's a deal. It's immediate. It's a lock. It's visual, it's emotional, and it is a happening thing. If I lay it down there, I'm going to get a deal, period, that way. Well, I'm talking to the manager now, at the appliance store. Same thing, I'm trying to buy a television. I'm going into one of these electronic stores, and we all know what they are, and I'm standing there going, I want a deal, look into my eyes. And he's going, well, Mr. Ramsey, we're a retail establishment, we don't really negotiate here. I said, yeah, well, under what circumstances are there bargains? Well, sometimes, we have an item that's a display item and we have an open box special, so open a box. Right? Well, I just don't know. I don't know. Are you sure? Because if we don't do a deal here, then I'm going to have to go see if those other people really have the Best Buy. You got to have some fun with this, people. You got to have some fun with it. I remember one time several years ago, our kids were small and we were busy running around, and I did the unpardonable sin. I forgot Mother's Day. Yeah, you know how bad this is. We go to church and they're handing out roses to all the women. I'm going, what are the roses for? Oh, no. Oh, no. So we're walking up through the parking lot after church with the kids in tow, and I'm going, honey, the kids and I have been talking about your Mother's Day gift, and we've just decided whatever you want, we're just going to go get it right now. And she's like, you forgot, didn't you? Uh-huh. So whatever you want, we're going to go get it right now, right? And so she said, I know what I want. She said, we've got that old beat-up washer and dryer that we've had ever since we got married, and it was used when we got it, and we have to kick it to make it run. And she said, I'm sick and tired of that. I want a brand new top-line washer and dryer. And I said, okay. I'm doing it in my mind. I'm going, how bad did that be? That's like $500, $600, $700. It can't be this bad, right? And so we go, and I said, okay, we're going to go down and look at the scratch and dent store. She said, you didn't hear me. I said, brand new. You're going to pay, Bubba. So we go into the store, honestly, truth story, went into the appliance store, and she walks in, and she walks down the aisle past all of the others and walks down to the end and says, I want that one. She had been there before. She had been planning this. I go down there and I look at it. This thing, it makes sandwiches at halftime. Who knew a washer and dryer could be this expensive? I'm looking at it, and I put them all together. We sit down with the little guy at the little round table, and he's seeing the kids. It's Mother's Day. He knows he's got him one, right? And this is going to be a hard negotiation. This is going to be tough. And he says, yeah, he adds it all up, taxes, title, delivery, everything is like $1,298 actual dollars. For a washer and dryer? You're kidding me. And he went, no, sir, that's how much it is. And I said, well, actually, I don't have $1,298. But what I do is I have 9 of these. 1, 2, and she kicked me under the table. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I laid 9 of them on the table. I said, 9, that's all I can do. And he said, well, I can't do that. And I said, well, who can? He said, well, that would be the manager. I said, talk to the manager. She kicked me again. He walked off. She said, you don't need another seminar story. Buy it. True story, the guy walks back over, he's got his head on down, because I was kind of in pain, so I was kind of snarling. And I think he thought I was snarling at him, and he came back over and he had his head down. He says, I can't do 900. He said, the lowest the manager will let me go is 935. Well, now I'm having fun. I'm going, you're going to let me, with all the advertising dollars you put out to get people in here on Mother's Day, you're going to let me walk out the door for 35 bucks? She kicked me again. I said, we'll take it. $12.98 for 935 is not bad, though. Why? Just because we tried.
I've got a quick shopping tip for you, a little bit of bargaining wisdom, if you will. When you go to a store, make sure you bring cash. We love the power of cash and what it can do. Most people are surprised. When you give somebody at a store a wad of cash, they go, what is this paper substance you've given us? I don't even know what to do. Where do I swipe this? Is it on his head? It's very confusing. But when you pull it out, make sure you pull it out with a little bit of drama. Have some fun with it. Don't just pull out a wad and go, hey, here's my money. No, take it out slowly, like the curtain revealing on a play. Fan it out a little. Oh, what do we got here? Ooh, look who's here. I got 5 of them. There's 5 lined up. And let the air conditioner of the store kind of catch it. Make sure they see it. You'll start to see eyes glaze over. And if the price isn't the price you want, start to put it back up. Start to say, oh, looks like this party's over. I'm going to go ahead and fold this and bring it back to my pocket. The slower you do that, the faster the price will come down. So remember that. Debt is dumb, but on the flip side, cash is fun. Have some fun with it. You've worked hard for this. You've worked hard to save this and spend this intelligently. Have a little bit of fun with it, because cash is fun.
The next of the lucky 7 is understand and use walk-away power. You have to emotionally be able to walk away and not purchase the item. If you are emotionally married to the item, your body language changes, the tilt of your head changes, your vocal cords constrict, the use of words changes, the sentence structure changes, and people can tell you have bought. Even those of you that are not trained sophisticatedly in body language can just watch and go, that one bought. You know what I'm talking about? You can feel it, can't you? And people can feel it. And so when you lose your walkaway power, you lose the ability to negotiate. This is a big deal. You have to keep your emotional distance from the item in order to be able to let them know. They have to be able to feel that they're losing you, and they want to reel you back in as you go through this negotiating process. That is a big, big, big deal. I had a guy call me one time with one of these .com companies that we had been working with, and the .com company went broke. Now there's a shock. And before it went broke, they had just furnished this fabulous office with literally hundreds of these, well, probably a little less than 100 of these Steelcase brand, which is a top brand of office furniture, cubicles, and all these beautiful chairs and all the accessories all through this place, and a fabulous conference room, all done up. I mean, some serious wood stuff. I mean, gorgeous stuff, right? And he says, Dave, I just wrote a check for this. Nobody's even sat in these seats. And now we turn around and we didn't get our funding from our venture capitalist, and we're going to have to turn the key on it. I got to sell it. I said, man, I don't need all this stuff. I don't even have that many people working here. It won't even all fit in our office. He said, but you don't understand. I'm going to make somebody a deal. And I'm like, really? I don't need all this stuff. And he said, listen, don't make me an offer because you're going to own it. And I went, okay, I'm starting to need this stuff. So I sat down with our executive VPs, and there were only about 40 of us at that time working on our team. Now there's several hundred of us, right? But at that time I said, well, okay, guys, this guy says he gave me the tickets on it. It's $275,000 worth of furniture. That's a lot. And I said, at what price, guys, would we buy this that if we didn't buy it at that price, we would feel stupid? Because we really don't need it. We're going to have to put it in storage until we grow enough to use it. Or we're going to have to try to sell it and make money on it. We're not in the furniture business, so we're not doing that. So what are we going to do here? And so we flew around, we all talked it out, and finally I said, look, and one of the guys said, okay, we settled on a price, $23,500. And I said, he'll never take it, but at least if it's more than that, we don't want to pay for something we don't really need today much more than that, but it's a great buy. And so I called him up, and I really did have walkaway power because I really didn't care if he sold it to me or not, because I didn't really need it. You see what I'm saying? At that time. If you visit our offices today, it's in there because he took $23,500. That's a deal. But I think a lot of that had to do with I didn't care. And it was all in my spirit. You know what I'm saying? He could feel that I didn't care. And I wasn't trying to beat the guy up. He's the one who said, make me an offer. I wasn't shopping for this, but he drew me in with price, and a lot of that was walkaway power. I've taught my wife, I've taught my kids this stuff, and we live this way as a family. And because my wife is a typical Southern belle, non-confrontational, will cut your throat. You know what I'm saying, and say, bless your heart about the, you know what I'm saying, bless your heart means a lot of things you don't want to know. I mean, and so, you know, but all this stuff to her feels like confrontation, all this negotiating stuff. And so we were kind of playing with it. I said, here's what you do, try this. And we were at the flea market, and she was looking for this iron bed that she was going to paint up, an antique bed thing, and put it in one of the kids' rooms. She had this plan, and we go down, and she's like, over there's the bed. Now, what do I do? That's the one I want. And I said, okay, here's what you do. Number one, don't get married to it. Maintain your walkaway power. And do these things. And just play with it. Just have fun with it. Here's some cash. Go over there and try to do it. I mean, the guy was asking like $20 for the bed or something. I don't know what it wasn't much. I mean, I thought by the time she finished with the guy, he was going to pay her. I mean, she wore him out over that bed. And so she's all feeling like, hey, I got this stuff down. And we're walking down through there, and way down the aisle down there is the wicker patio furniture that we had been needing. She forgot everything she had just learned. And for 45 feet towards this wicker furniture, it looks like a woman running through a wheat field. Her body language, you know what I'm saying? The way she walked up to it said, you got me. And then she caught herself and stopped and said, oh, no, I need a deal. And by now the guy's just grinning, going, there's no deal happening here. We had to completely walk away from the furniture because there was no negotiation based on the way she walked up to it. You know what I'm talking about? This stuff, you have to maintain your emotional distance, your walkaway power. She's 21 years old in Beaumont, Texas, a junior in college. Hey, Nicole, what's up in your world?
Not a whole lot. I actually was hoping you could help me out. I've never bought a used car before because my parents always leased new ones. So I'm wondering, what do I need to look for in a good used car?
Really good question. Well, one thing you want to do is take it to a good mechanic and pay to have the oil changed and pay to have the car inspected when you're looking at the used car. The second thing, depending on how much you're paying for it, of course, we're going to pay cash. We're going to do it the Dave Ramsey way. When you're paying cash for a used car, your primary goal is to get quality transportation. Your secondary goal is for it to be cool. I'd rather you buy something that is kind of ugly and you might need to give it a name because it's that kind of car, but you paid cash for it and it's got low miles and has a lot of life left in that particular car. Lastly, you always do your research. You do lots of research on what the value of the car is before you go buy it. And so you're looking up on Kelley Blue Book, KBB.com, or Edmunds Car Guide over at Yahoo, and looking at Trader.com and looking at what cars are selling for in your area that are like that. You become an expert on that brand, make, model, year, all that kind of stuff of that car and what it's really worth. That way, when you go to buy, you don't get ripped off. But here's the deal. Broke people care what other people think about their car. Rich people don't care what other people think about their car. So you need to decide which one you're going to be. Are you going to be broke people or are you going to be rich people? Because rich people don't care to impress somebody at a stoplight they'll never meet. Those are some thoughts. If you'll do all of that, you'll probably pick you a really good car. Now, always remember to pay cash, Nicole. No exceptions. Thanks for calling the Dave Ramsey Show.